All right. Racism in trucking. That like 90% of the hate comments that I get on my YouTube channel are from rednecks or redneck usernames.
Well, Augustine, that term redneck actually comes from a group of coal miners, organized coal miners back in 1921 in West Virginia. They wore red handkerchiefs around their necks.
And call me a whiner, I don't care. I'm just pointing out the obvious. I can't help but notice the obvious. Rednecks or redneck usernames.
So that they could tell the difference between their people and the government and local authorities that were fighting to break them apart. Overall, I think 16 coal miners lost their lives during that battle. And I mean, the government was doing some horrible things for some time leading up to that final battle on Blair Mountain in August of 1921. So there was a bomb that actually failed to go off that the government local authorities dropped on the coal miners on Blair Mountain. And they later used that to their advantage as evidence on what the government was doing, the horrible means that they were using to break them apart, because these miners were going out and unionizing more coal mining companies, right? They were organizing more and more laborers because they were seeing the benefits of being in a union, and they didn't want that.
Are from rednecks or redneck. A lot of these rednecks, they feel threatened because everyone is in trucking.
Over time, for whatever reason, the term redneck just became a derogatory racial slur towards Southerners. And who's responsible for it? Well, corporate America, you know. And they always make sure that they have all their ducks in a row and in order for their retirement, for their income, for their benefit. But when it comes to those of us that really move the country, we're pushed to the side by...
Another wild thing is, like, some of these jobs have been demonized. It's not cool to be a plumber. It's not cool to be an electrician. It's not cool to be a roofer. But I'll tell you what, it's pretty cool to have a badass truck and be able to go hunt whenever you want, be able to hang out with your kids and make it every single weekend to their lacrosse or hockey games because you have successful businesses and you just did a little bit of work for a few years to build that thing.
It's very bizarre that we've somehow or another demonized blue-collar work and put white-collar work on a pedestal. Whereas, like, the freedom comes...
Union establishes the contracts that we need in order to fight for our right to fair wage, retirement, and health care.
You getting into trucking, doesn't matter what race you are, you should know that this definitely exists. And if they turn into a truck driver, a lot of these rednecks feel threatened by it. And is Trump a racist? He might be. Do I care? I don't really care. But I'm telling you, in trucking, this definitely exists, right? Notice how, go through my comments and see most of the people that leave, like, that are just haters, that are just these weird haters. Most of them are old white rednecks who see a young Mexican from San Francisco trucking, and that's literally what they hate the most, dude.
Or you say, Augustine, is Trump a racist? He might be. Do I care? No. Well, then what's the purpose of making this video if you don't care whether people are racist or not? You know, I'm not saying and doing all this stuff just to pick on you, man. The thing that I don't like is that you kind of took a shit on our profession and acted like there wasn't money to be made here. But, you know, I've shown pay stubs. If you guys want to check out that video, upper right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see pay stubs in that video of me grossing 4, 5, 7, even 8K. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. The amounts that are about, you know, 5K and above involve maybe 1 or 2 referral bonuses, but I do not get very many referral bonuses. In fact, most of the drivers that I hired or that I helped to get hired were brand new, and I do not get referral bonuses for those. But as a union driver, we get annual bonuses. Every single driver at ABF Freight, for example, I think I got like 32 or 3,300. And some of Augustine's followers that have come over and started watching me now, I'm humbled. I thank you guys very much, and I hope that you continue to enjoy the content that I have created and will continue to create I'm definitely out here to inspire change. And I want our youngsters to not get sidetracked by this social media era that we live in. You know, you've got to have your solid foundation, good career that pays for your health care and offers you a pension in the end.
Check out this clip from Joe Rogan. Hits home on what I was trying to tell you guys in that video on why I'm quitting trucking.
But no, back then I was willing to do whatever it took.
But that's what you're supposed to do. You know, I've met a lot. Tony did that. I know a lot of people that did that. A lot of people slept in their car. Brian Simpson was homeless. Yeah. It's like, if you really believe in it. It's very bizarre that we've somehow or another demonized blue-collar work and put white-collar work on a pedestal. Whereas, like...
But hopefully I also inspire you guys to go out there and work and obtain things that you can actually own, not just finance or lease or rent, but then go out there and start to own things. There's nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur. There's nothing wrong with taking chances on it.
All you youngsters out there, honestly, trucking is cool. Man, get your education and go work on Wall Street.
So everyone pushes college, 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 and I went to college. I have a master's degree. I make very good money for my age. My husband did not go to college, and I've talked about this on here before, and I don't think you understand. And I say it not to brag, but to hopefully help any of you. I have a college degree. He has a high school diploma. He went to trade school right after high school. He got his certificates and everything, and here we go. So this past July, he had already brought home more than my gross salary this year. Come December, he will have quadrupled my salary. Quadrupled it. If he decides to pick up overtime on a weekend, a 2-day weekend, if he picks up overtime, he brings home that weekend, just in those 2 days, more than I make in a 2-week check. I have a master's degree. He has a high school diploma. So that reason right there is why I will not push college on anyone. If you think that college is not for you and you want to try a trade school, obviously look into it, see if you think that you have what it takes, and then 100% do it. Guarantee he will make the exact same amount of money wherever else he decides to go. I cannot stress it enough.
Just make sure that you have a solid foundation before you set out to do those things, or have the solid foundation while you are doing those things. You know, I don't care if I was making millions of dollars every year on Facebook. I'm going to make sure that on YouTube, I'm going to make sure that I get myself vested in this pension plan and make sure that all the money is right before I ever left to chase this endeavor full time. And you know, Augustine, with me quickly getting here to almost 5,000 subscribers now, and I see that you're about, 7,300, I can assure you, you're not making enough money on YouTube to just quit your job. I wish you the best, but I need to make sure that these people get the truth about when it comes to truck driving and blue-collar jobs.
I kind of had this idea in my head that 9-to-5 jobs were not the way to go. And yeah, that was around the time when Grant Cardone and Robert Kiyosaki were blowing up on YouTube. We all know that those guys are scam artists like Ty Lopez. But I still believe at the age of 31 that 9-to-5s are probably not the way to go.
I must confess, I still believe.
We are the foundation of this country. And we definitely set the course of direction. Okay? We do. Blue collar. Blue collar rules the country, my friend. More of us that wake up and realize how powerful we are together. The union already taught us this, right? It's up to us. I go live on TikTok very often, so you guys can communicate with me live and talk about anything you guys like to talk about when it comes to trucking. Any questions you have, I answer on those live streams. I go live every single day, Monday through Friday. So you can catch me on there, same name, Mr. By the Mile.